It took me 29 years of my life and 3 years at Harvard and MIT to start understanding this crazy psychological phenomenon that is likely the reason for most ambitious people's success, but also the reason why I, and probably you too, often feel dissatisfied. Hi, my name is Samuel. In my channel I talk about startups, tech, and learning. It's been about 1 year since I left MIT, and having had that time away from MIT, even though ironically MIT is literally right there, I can see it through my window, I had a time to contemplate why I suddenly started feeling so pessimistic and dissatisfied compared to my overconfident younger self. To give you a perspective, and apologies if this comes off as a little bit braggy, it's here to make a point. Back in high school, I won 3 medals at the International Physics Olympiad. I also won an award for the best high school graduate in my entire country. At age 19, I won a national triathlon championship, and at age 20, I landed an internship at a hedge fund that paid me over $15,000 per month. All of that was pretty cool. And back then, even though I'd never told it to anyone directly, I kind of thought that I'm pretty smart and successful for my young age. I was extremely confident. Now, why is confidence important for your career? After all, for example, in university, your confidence shouldn't really matter too much in exams. It should be mostly a function of your actual knowledge. Also, later in job interviews or at your job, your confidence shouldn't be that important because unless you're really bad at interviewing because of lack of confidence, if you can at least act confident enough during an interview, it should mostly be a function of your cognitive abilities, your knowledge and experiences. So why does confidence matter for your career? Here's an interesting study for you. It was conducted on students studying science, technology, math and engineering, aka STEM, but it is relevant far beyond that. In today's economy, we seriously lack people with STEM degrees. There's a huge demand for them on the market. However, this is not due to a lack of interest in STEM, because over half of students who start studying something in STEM eventually give up. So in other words, we have a persistence problem with STEM, not a lack of interest problem. A couple of years ago, researchers tried to find out what the determining factors are in making students more persistent by pursuing their STEM degree. One of the factors that they looked at were their college entrance exams, the SATs. These are American standardized tests that almost every student has to take when applying to college out of high school. Now, in this example, I'm going to show you the data from some random average college. Here they are. Keep in mind that 800 is the highest possible score, and we're looking at the top third, the middle third, and the bottom third of students. Guess who's most likely to complete their STEM degree? You guessed right. Students in the top 1/3 had a 1 out of 2 chance in completing their STEM degree, while students in the bottom 1/3 had only a 1 out of 6 chance in completing it.